Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to that podcast on YouTube. Oh man, it's comic day. Oh man, Wednesdays. Used to be Thursday. I used to love. Actually, I never really did comics on Thursday. It was always Friday because I got paid on Fridays. Friday it's lunchtime. I done got my paycheck. I got an hour of lunch. I got a good long lunch. I'd hop in my car, haul ass to the comic shop, be like, all right, what's in my box? What's in my box? And it was an ongoing joke for quite a while. But the guy that ran the comic shop, hey man, next issue of Miracleman in there. There's a new issue of Big Numbers waiting on me. He's like, man, come on now. Ain't no more than Miracleman. Ain't no more big numbers. Here's your comics. And I go sit in the back. And back then, usually this was 97, 98, 99. I go sit in the back at the table where the kids play Magic. They were there. And this, lunchtime on a Friday. So ain't no kids there. And I pull out, usually, if they're in my stack, I pull out Preacher and Hate and read. If there was one author that, if he had something in there, I would pull it out and read it before then. Because I only had a little while, and I knew I wouldn't get to read the rest of my comics till that evening after dinner. That author was Alan Moore. That's the guy who wrote what you got here in front of you. This is Miracleman, Book 1, A Dream of Flying. From Marvel. It's a nice hardcover, still in the shrink. As you see, I got this from a Books A Million. Brand new for $6, $7, somewhere around there. It was under 10. I paid less than a third. This is $30 because it's the hardcover. Right there, $30. Tell you how I discovered Miracleman. I'm gonna open this up. I have not opened this yet. I have owned the Miracleman run. I have bought it in issues before the first issue got published in the States. Comic shop I used to go to over in Biloxi, Mississippi was ran by a guy from the UK. He always called me Little Bro. I come in and he's like, Little Bro, I got something's coming out real soon. I've been reading it in Warrior. I'm like, oh man, Warrior's cool because he showed me his issues of Warrior. He showed me 2000 AD. I'm like, man, this is so much better than we're getting over here in the States. He's like, it's called Marvel Man, but it's gonna be called Miracleman over here. And Eclipse is gonna publish it. It's gonna be 75 cents. It's in color. I'm like, oh wow, an indie comic in color. And it's 75 cents. Put me a copy to the side. And I got from then until it ended, which is like issue 23 or so. It wasn't monthly. I got every issue of Miracleman. I bought the trades when it came out. I had a Dream of Flying in trade. I had it in hardcover. The only Miracleman thing I did not have from that Eclipse run was two things. I've never had the 2D version of the 3D issue. Those were very limited. I just never had one. And I never had the second hardcover. Well, quite a few years ago, and this was after Marvel announced they were going to start reprinting them. It's supposed to be finishing the story, but I don't know what's up with that. I'll get into that in a second. I have a car died. I had a late 90s Buick. I paid next to nothing for it, like $600-700. Paid nothing for this car. Drove the hell out. It went all over the place, and it finally died. The engine just gave up. It wasn't worth putting a new engine in, so I needed some money. So I've been dealing with comics, started reading comics when I was like 4 years old, so late 70s. I've been in the comic collector circle since about 86. I'd say then is when I really started going to shops and stuff. So I know plenty of people that collect comics. So I'll put the word out, hey, look, I'm not going to charge what most people ask. I know these are valued at. These are in good shape. But I have, from Eclipse, the first hardcover and the last hardcover they put out of Miracleman. I need money to buy a new car. I'm a little bit short, couple hundred short. I want to sell these. So I sold them, and somebody gave me a good deal. They got a good deal on it. They paid well, and they drove here. They're like, don't mail them. Because I sent people, those are perfect. Don't mail them. I will drive the hour and a half to your place. And it was somebody I had known through the convention scene. Known them long enough, I trusted letting them come out to my house. Met them, and they actually, remember it was before the Newt Cave, as it's called, got unorganized. I gave them a little tour, all that. So when I found this, I went, oh man, I got it in hardcover again. Now that means that I want the rest of the hardcovers from Marvel, and I don't want to pay $30 because I don't think you print many issues. You see, I've never even opened. There's issue 1, that gorgeous cover. This is only the first 4 issues. Okay, so 4 issues, $30. That's way too much. But we got here a story by the original writer. That's part of the deal. Get this reprint. Alan Moore didn't want his name on it. He wants nothing to do with Marvel. He thinks Marvel screwed him over, just like DC did. So nothing. And Mick Art by Gary Leach and Alan Davis with Don Lawrence, Steve Dillon, and Paul Neary. Colors. Miracleman, and this is from 2014. So this is 7 years ago. So we got a prologue, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 10, chapter 11. Oh, a glimpse into the future, and then 3 chapters of the Warp Smiths, plus Miracleman behind the scenes. Now, Miracleman, what it is, if you don't know what this is, the character who y'all know is Shazam, if you're not a longtime comic fan, he's known as Captain Marvel in the comics, was huge over in the UK. That's Shazam. And, of course, Shazam had 2 sidekicks. Captain Marvel Jr. and Mary Marvel. Well, when Fawcett got sued and finally went under, characters were popular, they just switched over to Marvel Man. Marvel Man, Kid Marvel Man, Young Marvel Man. When they and series lasted for a while, it ended. Well, Alan Moore took this and flipped it on its head. Revamped the thing. It was being published in Warriors chapters, which were fairly short, like 8 pages each, roughly. And when it came out over here in the States, they retitled it Miracleman just to prevent Marvel from being pissy about lawsuits. And look, they even got the speckles. I mean, can you see the speckles at the top of the page? Make it look older. And what it was is the guy who was Miracleman, he had the powers. And all these adventures he had were a simulation in his mind. And they decided that him and the other 2 people were too powerful, so they thought they killed him. Turned out, no. Marvel Man had amnesia. He's been stuck in his human form for years. And this is how he gets his powers back. This is a dream of flying. Mike Moran has these dreams all the time of him flying. He's a reporter over in the UK, and he's out at a protest about a nuclear power facility. And he ends up seeing the word atomic backwards when the facility gets taken over by terrorists. Backwards, and he says it, Kimota. That's his magic word. Whereas Captain Marvel's magic word is Shazam. This one is Kimota. Me, I'm Miracleman. I'm Miracleman. I remember now. And this is, he is all-powerful. He's a god in human form. It's just gorgeous-ass artwork. And, this was published, in Warrior for a while. Then by the time it started getting published in the States, the Warrior run was over. It did not end, and it got brought over to the States. It lasted 20-something issues. I want to say 23. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to go look that up real quick, because that's bugging me. And I could walk in my room and take it down, because I now have 3 copies of the final issue, which is not easy to find. But I'll just look it up on mycomicsshop.com. Eclipse run. 24 issues. It ran 24 issues, plus a few little things. It was originally Alan Moore. Alan Moore told his entire story. He told about how Miracleman showed back up in this world. He ends up finding out that his kid Miracleman survived. But what he didn't know is Kid Miracleman stayed in his superpower form and grew up and become this sociopath because nobody could stop him. He had more power than anybody else. This world had no heroes. And that's the original story was Miracleman versus Kid Miracleman and how he stops him and how Miracleman decides that the world needs heroes running it. And he takes over and creates a perfect utopia. And that was what Neil Gaiman's run was about how this utopia exists. And you see gorgeous artwork. Really, really, oh man. And honestly, when this was coming out in the States, I was probably a little young to be reading it. I mean, most people my age would have been not even understanding. Thankfully, my parents were pretty cool, let me read whatever I wanted to. The comic shop owner knew that. So I was reading this and just loving it. And what happened was, with Miracleman is after that 24th issue came out, Eclipse declared bankruptcy. There's a 25th issue that was pretty much done, never put out. Well, not too long after that, Todd McFarlane bought the rights to Eclipse, thinking he owned the rights to Miracleman. He bought them just for Miracleman. He took the character and made him the Man of Miracles, put him in Spawn, and then found out that no, the way Miracleman was, the way they thought it was that Mick Anlo owned the rights. But then, when he did the Running Warrior, Alan Moore and the artist owned the rights. And when Alan Moore quit doing it, he gave his control of the rights over to Neil Gaiman. So Neil Gaiman owned the rights. And Neil Gaiman was pissed at Tom McFarlane over this stuff with Spawn #9, where Neil Gaiman created Kalesko and Angela in the Spawn comics, and Tom McFarlane's like, I own that, and there's a big battle over it. But that finally got settled, and Marvel punched through all the red tape and got the rights to reprint this. They are supposedly going to finish it. I don't know why at least issue 25 has not come out yet. I think part is because of sales, because to be honest, they were asking way too much pressure. They were asking like $5 an issue of stuff, reprinted stuff. They couldn't put Alan Moore's name on it. It's on better paper and all that. They're like $30 for 4 issues in a hardcover. That's why I hadn't bought these, because the original, if I remember, the original Eclipse run was 6 issues in a hardcover. I'm thinking, I don't know. Just that I found this, and they seem to be doing pretty good about trying to get everything in here. And it's just one of those really good deconstruction of the superhero genre. This is one of the Alan Moore things that, and the Game Run, it's not as well read as it used to be. This is one of those where Marvel started reprint. Anybody I never met that had not read it and had a computer, I'm like, look, give me a flash drive. I have all the issues and scans. I'll give them to you. You need to read this. This is a really well done thing. You'll see why I'm pissed that this is not out there for everybody to read, because it's so good. Honestly, to me, for superhero stuff, this is the best thing Alan Moore's ever done. And especially with Neil Gaiman, this is probably the best thing he has ever done to me. It's just so well done. And I like the behind the scenes. We get all the different art. Just a really gorgeous string. You see, I just broke the shrink on. I hadn't even opened it. Oh, Warrior #7. And I'd love to get a hold of issues of Warrior. I got friends over in the UK, and one of them I told me, he's like, yeah, we find them in shops because they're really, really beat up, man, like falling apart, and they want too much for them. And he's telling me, if I find one, here's what I mean by reader copy. The spine ain't split, there ain't chunks missing out of it. It just looks like it's been well loved. If he finds it for you, I don't want to go over $10 an issue. He'll pick them up, we'll work out it. But $10 plus shipping plus extra money for finder's fee. And that's what I'm going to do a video one time on comic collecting tips. And one of them I'm going to give is, if you're looking for stuff, especially now, Gary Leach adapted his illustration from Warrior cover sidebar in his piece. He recalls as being intended as either a pinup or a back cover ad. It likely went unused in Warrior back issue of Merchandise House ad. Mick Allison's cover to Miracleman special #1. That's the one that got Marvel's attention, got him in trouble. There's some tips for comic collecting. With the internet, go find a forum where people talk comics and post there, hey, I'm looking for this comic. I'm willing to pay whatever it costs you, set a price range. Okay, let's just say you're looking for Punch and Face Man #2. Now, Punch and Face Man #2, it guides for $5. So they'll be like, hey, I'll pay $5 or less. I'll cover shipping, and you can, most people know how much it costs to ship a comic. Comic shipping's cheap, and then you add a finder. Always add that finder's fee there. Makes people more wanting to help you. And sometimes you might look out like I did. It's was it Weird Worlds or the Marvel Worlds on the Marvel horror sci-fi anthology series where they did a adaptation of the TV movie Killdozer. I'm one of these people. I prefer to get my comics in a shop or at a con. I like the thrill of the hunt. Find them on. It's cool to find them and get them online. You probably sometimes get cheaper. That looking through the long box. I posted on this one forum. I've been looking for that issue for quite a while because the guy mentioned he found a copy cheap, and he's like, it's okay, but I'm probably not going to keep it. So I wrote to him. Gary Leach's covered issue too. I was like, hey, I messaged him. Hey, I've been looking for it. I will gladly pay you whatever you paid for it. Cost of shipping, and I'll throw in, because he didn't pay much, I'll throw in like $2 more, $3 as a finder's fee. He's like, you know what, man, no. We do this thing around here called Comics Karma. If you got a comic you don't really want and somebody else is looking for it, it ain't like, a $100 comic. Hey, you send it to them, and you just tell them, hey, next time you see somebody looking for something that you have that you want to get rid of and it ain't like big guy, do it for free. It's called Comics Karma. You get Comics Karma, give and give. And I've done that multiple times now. Original art, Gary Leach's painting from Miracleman Book 1, A Dream of Flying. That's the one I had. A lot of art in this. I'm glad I got this. Such gorgeous art. Yeah, Miracleman. Just so good. And that's one of the things with Alan Moore, is I love Alan Moore to death, but it sucks that so much of his stuff didn't get completed. Miracleman, even though he'd finished his run, the Neil Gaiman run ain't finished. And Neil Gaiman supposedly got the rest of the stuff, plotted out. 1963, we got 6 issues. We didn't get the annual. Big numbers. We got 2 issues published. The 3rd issue is out there. Nothing since then. It sucks, but that's what happened. Oh, God, look at these different covers. Variant covers. John Cassaday and Paul Mounts. Lillian Yu. Jerry Allen Galani and Lindsay Scotty Young. That is a gorgeous cover issue, too, by Alan Davis. I like that one, too. That's J.G. Jones. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous book. Oh, man. Look at this. The most iconic and popular superhero that comic fans have never read since IGN. True. Komota. The series that redefined the genre returns to print for the first time in more than 20 years. More than that, man. 2014. Okay, yeah. No. When did issue 24 come out? That was 90s. Give me a second, since I know I have that open. And even now, with Marvel reprint these, these are not cheap. I'm looking at my comic shop. A 6.0 copy of issue 1 is $5.40. It started in August '85. So when did the last issue come out? Because it was never. I don't think after a little short run it was ever monthly. After I think it was whenever the fuck it comes out. Because Gaiman was working on Sandman. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, issue 16 is the last one by Alan Moore. 17 through 24 is the Gaiman run, and the covers are completely against the next set of stories. Okay. Issue 24, 93, August of 93. All they have is CGC copies, and those are going for a fortune. Because that last issue, by then, Eclipse, nobody was buying their stuff. I've been lucky. I got a copy off the news, off the comic shop rack when it came out. I'll tell this story real quick. Back in the day, female I was with, we were together for way too long. She got pissed off at me one day over something minor. I forgot to put the toilet seat down or something like that. Something very minor. And she had mental issues. She decided she was going to get back at me by hauling a good chunk of my comic book run, which were all in long boxes, into the front yard, soaking them in lighter fluid and setting it on fire. And I come home from work at the time to a stack of long boxes in our front yard on fire, and my Miracleman run went up in flames. And this would be 96. We split up. I moved to Texas in 97. I start slowly piecing and run back together. And this is 97, 98, 99. At the time, word was just starting to get out that, there's a chance this might never be reprinted. Stuff with Star Wars it started going up a little, and people were like, oh, there's this Alan Moore run we've never heard of? Never read, never heard of? What the hell? Why isn't this better known? So, I had everything but the last issue. Another thing I needed was the big old file book that Tomorrow's Publishing put out. It's called Komota. And that was going for a fortune. That was out of print, going for $30-$40. I'm down in Biloxi, Mississippi, which is where I was born. I was born in Biloxi, raised east of there. I'm down in Biloxi, Mississippi. And I'm, at this great comic shop that I love. And I found the Komota book on the shelf, no price on it. No, but the extra just had the original cover, the original price that was printed on it. So I grabbed that. And I went, and I love how this shop does. It's named Five Alarm Comics. As of right now, I know they're still open. And I'm digging through the cheap bins. I'm sitting on the floor digging through the cheap bins. And the owner side put the Maxi Mortal Brat Pack Special 1 and Special 2 next to me. And then the AC American Comics 2 Sentinels of Justice, and the other one that had the Charlton action heroes in it. He's like, oh, and he sees that Miracleman, and he goes, you like Miracleman? I was like, oh man, I love that guy. I just need the last issue. He goes, oh, well, come here. Because the way he did his comics was in the back issues, they're bagged and borders, whatever price sticker on the bag was. they were not bad to board, they were $1. If you bought a lot, they were 50 cents. And me, no matter what a box he knew, I made a 3-hour drive there. He knew where I was coming in from. He's like, man, they're 50 cents for you. Because I'd always, I'd go in there. I'd went in there a couple times, 6 times a year at the most. And I would drop, 20 to 50 bucks on cheap bin stuff. So and it was stuff where it's good reading, but it's nothing that's going to sell well. Like I was buying big stacks of The Question. So he always cut me a deal. It's like, come here. Because Mitch Burr was like, yeah. Mitch Burr's an artist. He worked for Eclipse. Well, when Eclipse went under, they owed Mitch a pile of money. So to pay Mitch back, they paid him in file copies. If you don't know what a file copy is, most comic companies, when they publish a comic, when it comes in, they take one copy that's in pristine condition and put it away. That's their file copy if they ever need a copy. Back in the day, and you can thank Jerry Garcia for this, the reason why the Tales from the Crypt EC stuff shot up when the Grateful Dead became big, they were touring all over here on these comic shops, and Garcia and them had money, and they were buying these EC comics up. Well, somebody found the file copies. Well, Mitch had a stack of file copies. He had, I was told, 3 full runs of Miracleman file copies. One run, he'd saved. He was going to go get them CGC, because that's some money right there. One run, he had sold to somebody. The other run was at this shop. The shop owner's selling them for Mitch. Mitch came in and shop fairly often. Mitch lives in the Biloxi area. And Mitch knew me somewhat. So I was like, look, he goes, I know what this guide's for. And back then, that book guided for a lot. And I think it still goes wrong, because I don't think Marvel ever got around to reprinting that issue. It was going for a lot of money. Way more. I told him, like, dude, I know what it goes for. I can't really, if I spend what he guides for, I'm going to have to put everything else back. I only have X amount on. He's like, I'll cut you a deal. How about you give me, and it's been long enough, like I said, he goes, give me $10. And I looked at him, I was like, that's like a fifth of what this guy goes, yeah, $10. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yes. And it turned out, what I did not know at the time is Mitch had an extra copy of that one issue for some reason, and had given it to the owner. And I was like, I got the trades. I know you want these to read, you're not going to resell. It's like, nah. You know that. He knows I'm a hoarder. I've gotten better at selling comics, but it's all reader copy stuff. So I got it. Got my full run, all excited. Well, fast forward a few years, comic shop opens up in town. Heroes Haven, I think's the name of it. And it's more of a trading card pop culture store. You got Funko Pops and board games and trading cards. Magic the Gathering, all that shit. They have comics. They've been open for months before I go in, talk to the owner for a minute. Like, hey, I go, show me where the cheap bins are. Where's your wall books? He goes, there's wall books. There's cheap. And he laughed because he goes, you're the only one's ever called it wall books. I'm like, yeah. And this guy, I'm a little bit older than him. And I'm thinking, dude, cheap bins. And we're talking at the same time. And I tell him how, I've worked in a comic shop off and on. I did it in high school. Out in Texas, the comic shop I went to all the time, Lynn's Comics, I would come in, if I was off on a Wednesday, new comedy, I'd come in and help the owner, because by that time his wife was busy with her, she had a photography, so she was busy. I'd help him sort the books and stuff like that, and he'd go, man, I'll give you a little discount. I've been in and out of comic shops, I know how to handle myself. So we're talking and shit, and I'm doing there, and I found Miracleman 24. Not mint, but this would be like a 7.0, 7.5, 8.0, somewhere in there. So I get a whole stand, and he's like, okay, cheap bin stuff's $1. If you buy a bunch, I'll do 50 cents. I probably goes, oh man, you're getting them for 50 cents. I'm like, well, look, I was like, we both know this issue of Miracleman is worth a little bit of money. I already own a copy, but I will give you more than the 50 cents $1 you're asking for. Oh, no, man, it's in cheap bins. Don't worry about it. So I have 2 copies of it now. And I got me a full reading order of Miracleman. I got this. I have the Eclipse trades they're put up. I have, just a great thing, man, Marvel, Neil Gaiman, whoever. Please get this finished. I want to know how Neil Gaiman's run ends. I really do. Neil Gaiman, I will. If you can get your run in published and completed before 2023, I will go out and buy, because I know you make money off this. All Sandman, the original run you did in hardcovers. The big-ass omnibus, I'll pay the big bucks for so you make some money. Even though I'm not the biggest Sandman fan anymore, just because I want this story finished. This was so well done. And this, to me, is the Alan Moore story that should get all the attention that Killing Joke and Watchmen get. And actually, Killing Joke's going to get the biggest amount of attention because it's a It's Batman. It's a big hero. Everybody knows him. Whereas Watchmen, got critical acclaim, but until the movie came out, a lot of people didn't know who the characters were. This is an unknown character. Even in the UK, my understanding is by the time this was coming out in the UK, Marvel Man was kind of forgotten. I'm out, everybody. I know I went a long time, but look at that gorgeous ass cover. Miracle fucking Man. Talk to everybody later. Leave me that thumbs up. Bye-bye.